Hey there everyone, Louis here. It's my mission to aid your awakening, and I'm going to talk about the numbers 1111 today. Yes, I see these numbers as well. I started seeing these numbers a long time ago, and just yesterday I saw them pop up again as another reminder, and I'm going to break down what I think they mean. I think there's a lot of different meanings that are given towards if you're seeing 1111. There's a lot of different meanings that a lot of different interpretations people seem to make. But I have one real main interpretation that I like to share in this video. And I'm also going to talk about the 3 steps of when you see 1111. I believe that it's reassurance, confirmation, and intention. The 3 steps you can take when you see 1111. So not only do you know what it means, what it might reveal to you, but also what you can do going forward when you actually come into contact, see these numbers flash up a lot in your reality. So let's get into it. So yeah guys, there's a lot of different interpretations of what seeing these numbers are. And you might be thinking, Louis, what are you talking about seeing the numbers 1111? It's really a thing for you either have seen it a lot or you haven't. And it's a really weird experience to always see the same numbers pop up in your reality. The same things. We call it synchronicity, right? So I started seeing these numbers back in... I was a few months into my awakening at that point, maybe a whole year in. And I still didn't even know what 1111 had any significance at all. I still, like a lot of you guys might, be able to relate with that. You start seeing these numbers and actually you see it so often, it brings you into looking it up, and then you find out, wow, there's loads of information, loads of people who have had similar experiences. I know, for one thing, I know Ralph Smart for Infinite Waters, he talks about 1111 being like a portal, like a gate. You actually see the shape of the numbers 1111. It's kind of like a gate you're entering into. It's that trigger of awakening. Like Neo in the Matrix, when he sees the white rabbit, he begins following down that rabbit hole. He begins discovering that there's more to his reality than he initially thought. And that it is a sign, guys, if you keep seeing these numbers, that you are waking up, that you're starting to see beyond the Matrix, you're starting to see beyond this dream, this illusion, and you're waking up from the dream, and you're starting to discover that there is support from the universe. And that's ultimately what I believe it means. 1111, I think, means that we are tapping into higher guidance. We are tapping into universal support. There's a greater thing happening here. There's a will that's moving the universe, and it's happening through us as we're waking up. And we're getting signs that the universe knows we're waking up, signs that we're seeing more to the reality than we initially believed there is. So are you starting to see these numbers a lot? Are you starting to see them on clocks every day, morning or night? You're starting to see 1111. Are you starting to just see it randomly on house numbers? The number's just 11, house numbers. My common thing was house numbers all the time, buses. Where I was going to my uni town, that happened to be an 11 bus that whenever I was struggling, whenever I needed to see it, I happened to see it. Always on the clock. Always for me, because I listen to music basically all the time when I'm out and about. Every time I looked down at the song I was playing, it was the 11th second of the first minute. So 111. I see that all the time. And yeah, like I said at the start, I didn't know this was a spiritual thing. I didn't know it had any greater significance. But it got to the point where I was seeing the numbers so much that I had to research it. So it's like a call to awakening, like I just mentioned. It's like, it's an easy way to discover that you're waking up. You might be having some turmoil, some great disruption in life. You may be having a very blissful experience so far of waking up and discovering new parts of yourself, and it's very enjoyable for you, or it's very hard. Whatever it may be, if you keep seeing the numbers, you'll eventually get to the point where you're taken aback and you need to research it, and that's when you find out you're waking up. So for a lot of people, this is the early call sign. But for other people, like me, I just saw it yesterday, right when I needed to see it. A few years down the line in my awakening, it also just means that not only are you waking up, but you're receiving signs from the universe. You're tapping into higher guidance, which is ultimately what I believe it is. I believe it's a sign that there's higher guidance, that the channel of communication with you and your higher self and the universe has been activated, has been opened. So when I started seeing them really commonly towards the end of 2017 and especially coming into 2018, I was just coming out of a very dark and difficult space, and I was starting to get on with life. But now I'd sort of elevated my vibrational set point to the way that I was seeing reality from this great perspective, from a much more open awareness. The colours were more vivid. It's kind of like you're in a high, like from a drug. So I was starting to get used to this way of life, sort of adjust to it. Because that's what you do, you ultimately adjust to it. It just never goes back to normal. But I was trying to adjust, and I was still trying to figure things out. And so, am I going to start seeing life like this from now on? It's really strange. It's like you've taken that jump, and you're still adjusting. I was in a strange place. So I'd be thinking about this. Maybe I should accept it. Maybe I should just adjust. I can do it. I can live like this from now on. Okay, maybe I should just accept it. Then I'd see 11. Then I'd see 11:11 on the clock. Confirmation. Reassurance. That's the first thing of the 11:11 you see, is reassurance. If you're in a very difficult spot and you don't know what to do and you're panicking, you're thinking, oh, I wish I could go back to how I used to be. I don't like this whole awakening. It's very uncomfortable. I don't like it. And you see the 11:11, you're like, ah. Once you now know what this means, you're like, oh, okay. It's going to be okay. I just need to trust. I just need to trust. And that's what 11:11 is, guys. It's showing you that you can manifest your own reality. Everything you think about has an energy to it. All your thoughts have an energy to it. That energy can create and manifest the life you want or you don't want. So it's good to be aware. So the second thing, not only does it reassure you if you're having a difficult phase or reassure you if you're having a good idea, it's also like confirmation. It's confirmation that you create your own reality. And the reason you're seeing 11:11 is now your awareness is opened up to it. Now maybe you're looking for it. Once you know what it means later on, it's a good sign. It's that reassurance. You want that reassurance. Who doesn't want reassurance from the universe that they're in the right place in their life? Now you've got that reassurance from the universe and you're kind of looking out for it. And it's that confirmation. That confirmation that you create your own reality. So that confirmation that you may be having a good idea. Think, oh, maybe, I should go for this. I have a good feeling about this. It makes me feel light when I do it. I enjoy doing this. Maybe I should go for it. And then you see 11:11. There's that reassurance. Everything's going to be okay. You're in the right place. Good. But then the confirmation, that idea. Confirmed. I should go for it. The universe is pulling me towards that direction. I do resonate with that. So now look out for those two things. Be aware of what you're thinking when you see 11:11. Just as if you're thinking something negative, you get that reassurance, it's going to be okay, 11:11. But then you also think confirmation of the idea I was having. Yeah, that confirms that if I do keep thinking negatively, I'll experience it in my reality. It's telling you that if you are going to think like this is how you're going to feel. So maybe you should look into ways, do some deep inner work, try and relieve that, try and get to the root of where these thoughts come from. Or just simply seeing the 11:11 could be so reassuring and reminding you that you're all fine, you're on the right path, that you immediately shift your thoughts. Oh yeah, I would feel like this if I'm thinking about that problem. Let's think about something good. Let's think about something I do want. A great part of self-development is not focusing on things you don't want to be happening. It's focus on things you do want. Yeah, I do want this. I'm going to imagine having this now. I'm going to visualize that. Bring it closer to myself. Try and get closer to manifesting it and making it happen in real life. And guys, finally, so you're in touch. The inner guidance from the universe is there. It's all, and you've got reassurance when you see 11:11, and you've got confirmation of whatever you're thinking. Maybe you should go for it. Maybe you should stop focusing on that. And now the last thing is intention. Similar to confirmation, except 11:11 showing you can create your reality. What's your intention now going forward? Okay, bang, you see 11:11 on the clock. You see it on a bus. You see it in a shop window. You see it on the price of something. You can see it in any way you can imagine seeing it. There's probably way more things than I've just given examples of that may be resonate and relevant to you. Alright guys, thank you for listening. Real quick before I go, check out my Instagram. I'm going to put it right here. If you want any messages, I'm trying to reply to all the DMs I get at the moment. I want to try and get to know my audience better, so do leave a DM. If you've got any questions as well, if it's a good question, I feel like it's an interesting topic that your question's about, your problem you're suffering, I'll try and answer it for you, but I also may make a YouTube video on it as well if I feel like I can help everyone else, because I want to try and help as many people as I can at the moment, grow the audience, do what I can. So check out the Instagram, guys, and I'm posting pretty much every day, stories, pictures, so give that a look. And yeah, 11:11, it is the sign. It wakes up people, it's the trigger. But it's also the reassurance. It'll be there for you throughout your awakening. You'll see your sign, or whatever your synchronicity may be. It may be other numbers, maybe a different type of numbers. But it'll be there for you, and you'll just know that the universe is on your side, which it is. We're all being supported. We're all going to a better place. So what we're going to get are those blessings, guys. Thank you. Goodbye.